Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. When I'm recording this, it's still a little bit more than a week out of Thanksgiving, but by the time you watch this, it will be soon upon us. I always enjoy Thanksgiving, I think more than I used to. Of course, as a kid, I always liked Christmas best, but I've come to appreciate Thanksgiving in that it's a little more relaxed than Christmas. And I love food, I love cooking, and I enjoy being time spent with my family. And Thanksgiving has all of those things. So how do you spend Thanksgiving? Maybe you have special guests or certain food? Maybe you do turkey, maybe you don't. And maybe you collect food for a food bank or pantry. I haven't got my stuffing yet. I got to get stuffing to donate, since that is our assignment. Our food of choice for the Thanksgiving food pantry we're doing. Because Thanksgiving is about being thankful for what you have and helping those who might not have as much. So today we're going to be looking at how different people celebrate harvest time and have similar celebrations to Thanksgiving around the world. And we're going to do this by looking at some of the symbols associated with these celebrations. So to start with, think about the moon. And this is in fact a symbol of Thanksgiving, and that in pioneer days, people spent long days bringing in their crops and hunting for their food in time for the winter. Now, they didn't have much time before the cold and the snow arrived. And so the bright light of the moon would allow these pioneer people to work late at night so they could get finished before it got cold. After all the crops were in, the people would celebrate. They would pray and thank God for creating the moon that helped them harvest the food they would enjoy all winter. Now, the moon is also a symbol of a festival that is celebrated each autumn in Korea. It's a moon festival. And farmers take time to rest and give God thanks for the harvest. Korean girls will do a circle dance for the moon. And people also have parades with lanterns. And the favorite shape of a lantern is, you guessed it, moon-shaped. In Korea, the moon stands for joy and life. And it's a symbol of family, too. People remember that while the moon looks down on them, it's also looking down on friends and relatives that are far away. All right, next, we're going to talk about the palm plant. And have you seen palm fronds before? I know you have, probably around Easter and Good Friday, right? Well, the palm is also part of a special harvest festival called the Festival of Booths, or Sukkot. And this is a special celebration in which Jewish people remember the 40 years that their ancestors wandered in the desert after they escaped from slavery in Egypt. During the celebration of Sukkot, Jews often build a little hut or a booth outdoors called a sukkah. They decorate it with palm branches to remind themselves of the huts that their ancestors built to protect themselves from the weather as they traveled in the desert. They also hold special worship services in which special harvest foods like palm shoots, myrtle and willow branches, and citrons, which are sort of like a lemon, these are carried into the synagogue to remind the people of all the good things that God has created. Now, rice is another symbol of harvest celebrations. Rice is a really important food worldwide. In fact, it's the main food for over a third of the people in the entire world. It's a lot of people. And rice is also a special Thanksgiving food. So maybe you use rice stuffing in your turkey. I know my family, we don't. We use bread as a stuffing in our turkey, but some people use rice to stuff their turkey. Now, in Kerala, a state in India, there's a special festival called Onam, which is held each year to celebrate the rice harvest. Threshing contests are held in which contests beat the rice so that the grain breaks from the rice stalk and falls out of its husk. And the winner is the one who threshes the most grain the fastest. Now, most rice is grown in Asia, although some is grown in California and other places. The only native rice that grows in North America is wild rice. Native people harvest wild rice from the northern Great Lakes, and the Algonquin, Northern Cree, and Ojibwe peoples hold a short Thanksgiving ceremony at the beginning of the wild rice harvest each year. Then the whole community gets together for special feasts and songs. Many Native people believe that we should say a special thanks to the Creator every day and not just Thanksgiving. And I agree with that, because we should be thankful every day for all that we have. Now, corn is another symbol of the harvest. Corn was first grown hundreds of years ago by the Mayan people in Central America. Each year, the Mayans would hold a special Thanksgiving celebration. Today, in countries like Peru and Mexico, corn is eaten in the form of tortillas, both by the rich and the poor alike. Now, in North America, corn was first harvested by the Aboriginal people who were the first to live here. When people from Europe came, Native people showed them how to harvest corn. The pioneers learned to roast corn and grind it into flour to make foods like mush and johnny cake. And they used corn husks to stuff mattresses and the corn stalks for animal food. Corn husks were even used to make dolls and pipes. You might have heard of a corn cob pipe, corks for bottles, and even to stop up mouse holes. The early pioneers had a lot to be thankful for at Thanksgiving, especially for the help of the Native people who taught them about corn and about some of the good ways that corn could be used. Now, in modern times, the Iroquois people hold a 3-day festival each year called the Green Corn Festival. During this festival, people pray and sing and dance and play games celebrating and thanking the Creator for all the things the Creator has made. So the final symbol of Thanksgiving I'm going to talk about, and you might be scratching your heads at this one, over this one a little bit, a box of food for the food bank. Not traditionally what you think of as a symbol for any sort of celebration, but it's a really important part of Thanksgiving, and perhaps is maybe the most important symbol of Thanksgiving. Because every Thanksgiving in places of worship across North America and in grocery stores and schools and shelters, people bring food for food banks. This food is given to people who are too poor to buy themselves nutritious food. So when we bring this food to church and on Thanksgiving and other places around the community, it reminds us that God made the world for all of us to share. It also reminds us that Jesus said we are to give what we have to those who don't have much at all. So sharing is a very important part of Thanksgiving, and perhaps the most important part, sharing and being thankful, not just in Thanksgiving, but every day of the year for all that we have and being grateful for it. So that's all for today. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and be sure to share your own wealth of Thanksgiving with others who may not have as much. And I'll see you next time. Bye.